All right, everyone, welcome back to another night of Annihilation Overwatch. We're here for this Tier 3 match of Black Pearl going against Splyce Black tonight. I am Shadowfang. With me, I've got Arya and Weeping Angel. Say hello to the people.
Hello.
All right, so both of these teams were participants of 3 1s in their last match. Black Pearl not really going in their favor. Splyce Black, it is in fact going in their favor. Still pretty early in the season, though, so not too sure which way these teams might go just yet. What are you thinking that we might see for compositions here on map number 1, Weeping Angel?
Well, based on I've watched the last game of Black Pearl, and they were really all over the place with picking comps. I would pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to last time I saw Soten really dominate on the Sojourn.
Well,
That
speaking of which,
was
let's pull up Black Pearl's roster right now, and you can continue to just speak on what you were seeing there.
I was seeing Sultan absolutely dominating on Sojourn. I think we named them honorary MVP for that. And
Mm-hmm.
then from their tank, honestly, I thought they played their best tank of. They played Sig really well. I thought
Mm-hmm.
they were really close to winning the match on Havana playing Sig. It would be interesting to see. One of the biggest things I'm gonna look for is I always say this here. Nope,
Yeah.
nobody does three guys on cart. We'll see whichever team, and it was the same thing last time I had looked at Black Pro. The
Yeah.
team that had more that put three guys on cart typically won.
Okay.
Uh, and using double support ults as well. That was a big mistake. Big mistake
Yeah.
I was seeing last time. I'm curious how it's going to look for them now.
Yeah, that's a really tough one for Black Pearl. And on the other side, we're going to have Splyce Black. I'm going to roll through that lineup real quick. We've got Altus and Nakali on that DPS line. Mayo going to be running that tank with Jarej and LEQ on that support line. And I mean, honestly, map number 1 looking like it's going to be Busan here for us tonight. I am going to be expecting to see some Ramatra coming out here tonight. Ramatra still really strong. Got that huge damage mitigation. Can really just brawl with the best of them. Um, Again, I'm very partial to a Reinhardt pick myself. I think he actually plays surprisingly well into Ram. Ram just has the really strong damage reduction. But if you can
Yeah,
manage
of
to get some
course.
really good fire strikes off, and your shatter is really free on that character, and everybody just kind of plays grouped up right behind the Ramatra, so it could be potentially team wiping, but if a team were to decide to do that, you pretty much have to dump all your resources into the Reinhardt and make the Reinhardt your carry. Otherwise, that comp won't work at all. Potentially might see some Winston on Busan downtown as well. Really strong Winston map. Maybe even some Wrecking Ball if we got one of those weird players in here that likes that character. What else do you think we might see, Angel?
I mean, now that nobody put it for their pictures. I saw Winston, so probably a Winston. I'll probably see a
Mm-hmm.
Winston too on is it Sanctuary, the map with the bongo?
Yes,
Honestly, for
Sanctuary.
Black
It has
Pearl,
the big drum in the middle. Yeah.
I would play Sig. Sig's really good there since I think they have a pretty good
Yes.
Sig player. I would play, but I
Yeah.
doubt they would. They're probably just gonna stick to brawl or dive there, depending upon which one they want to run. The map, but definitely I think Ram should definitely be played on a mecha base. If you're
Mm-hmm.
playing mecha base, you need to play Ram there. There's really
Mm-hmm.
nothing else to play. There's a potential for Diva's okay,
Yeah.
just because of the high ground control. But yeah, definitely don't want to play Winston there because then there's just too many corners to hide the damage.
Well,
You
I
don't
mean,
want to just and have LOS commit.
Freya's still a really strong pick as well. Yeah, we tend to not see it as often in the diamond tier. Maybe it's just not quite to the aim level that you need to be at to use that character super effectively. But I mean, I've scrimmed in some 3.5 to 3.6k lobbies, and people love running that Freya. They'll even run Freya and Soj at the same time. Maybe Freya Tracer. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Soj Tracer, just to get that backline pressure from the Tracer and have the front line pushing in with the Ramatra and have that rush going. There's really a multitude of options here, but it is looking like to start with, we're going to be seeing a Ramatra going into a Diva on downtown, but we've still got 20 more seconds. What are you thinking about what you're seeing here so far?
I I'm not too sure here about the Ramattra. I definitely say don't pick Diva into Ram, but on this map, it's definitely very good. A lot of high ground
Mhm.
control. Again, a lot of people tend to even play Widow here, and they
Mhm.
play at the top Widow, Ashe. Even like you talked about a Freya pick, they'd be definitely against it. Oh, Ramattra last second.
Yeah, we're seeing double Ramatras, it looks like. One team opting for that Reaper to just lay more damage onto the Ramatra, and the other team opting for the Tracer. But the Tracer is going to have to go into a Juno Brig. That's actually, I'm really liking the pick on the black team more, but that railgun shot is going to be exactly what Black Pearl needed to really take care of that. And Mayo immediately taking down Mimic is also going to be a really strong pick. You're still going to have that Juno though, so you still have plenty of heals available. Oh man, Noodle's just getting another pick on that Sojourn, just putting in a lot of work. Somebody has to lay some pressure down onto this Sojourn right now. This Sojourn is essentially uncontested right now, and you're not going to be able to put in a lot of work if your Soldier's uncontested and you're split. Because Mayo was so far removed from the rest of their team in that fight, they're just able to get soloed out by Noodle.
He got himself split. What needs to happen here is the Reaper needs to go behind. They need to go off the Reaper engage. He's playing main right now. This is you don't have a lot of damage playing main with Reaper.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think the thing that Reaper's going to be really strong at is just you can either pressure the supports or try and pressure down the Ramatra, but all that damage mitigation is going to make it really tough to get that kill through.
You need to shoot Ram in the back. You do need to put the damage debuff on him though. Oh, this is really deep.
And we're hearing Supremo popping that ultimate. Don't worry, Mayo. I've been there before too. You really think that you just need to go forward, but when you go forward, you allow the other tank to just kind of walk on your back line, and we see Supremo just kind of cleaning up shop in that fight. Mayo going to be swapping onto that Diva now.
You needed
So
to poke out the Ram first. Plus, they're not using speed. They need to make a speed engage in. They're taking way too long to speed in. But send Reaper to go touch point and then speed in.
no, absolutely. I can definitely see that working out super well. But now you're in a situation where you're running into double support ults, and it's not looking too good for you, especially with how good Noodle's been. Noodle's got this overclock available as well. We're seeing some punches go out here. Noodle getting the kill, and there goes another one. The one good thing though is you managed to get two ultimates out, but you don't lose any ultimates in the process. So that's still a good trade, but that's last fight, so maybe you should have probably used some of those ultimates because we're not going to see a touch here, and that's going to be point number one going to Black Pearl.
This ends now.
Would have walked up there with Riley. Riley, the team to walk them up. The Juno got left behind there, and what you're going to find yourself on Juno is you have a range of 25 meters, and you need to be playing within that. You need to be playing another part of it's on the Brig. Their Brig needs to walk up their Juno to point to not let the you need to take away the Tracer angle when they're walking up here.
And I mean,
Or that.
just with the way LEQ is playing this Juno right now, I honestly think you'd be better served playing Ana and just going for antis. I think you'd be better served doing that in this situation just because you're not getting that full value out of Juno right now.
Yeah,
The main
they're
reason
not
you're
gonna
going to want
be-
to play Juno is get that orbital ray. But if
Yeah.
you're not getting that orbital ray, then it's like you may as well be heaving anti-grenades at somebody.
Yeah, I could see that if you're not going to use speed like that, just playing the Ana there. The problem is you don't really have a place to play an Ana on that map.
Very true, very true. Very true. But they're mostly playing a poke comp, so that was more so my thinking in that regard. Nice slow coming in. Sultan just pressuring out this back line. Getting one clicked by Altis, though. Crazy good play right there from the Sojourn.
You see what Black Pearl's doing really well. Their Ram held corner really, really well there. And what it does is the Devo rotated, but he denied the rest of the team from rotating.
Yeah, absolutely. That defense matrix showing its value there for sure. Nikali falling off the map, eventually just going to match this Tracer. I think that's gonna help out a lot. Now Sultan won't be able to just run free. You got a mark constantly on you. That's gonna help your Brig not have to constantly be checking for their backsides and whatnot. But here we are, next plate. No ults yet.
If you're gonna play the Brig attack comp, I think Tracer makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. The armor packs go super well, help Tracer stay in, And we're just seeing kind of a poke engage right now. Nothing too serious just yet. Supremo just kind of holding point really hard, not allowing them to take this percentage. And yeah, this is pretty good actually. I mean, you like this exchange if you're Black Pearl.
Oh, that's deep.
Looked like a little bit of spicy mayo right there, you know what I mean? A little too much spice there. Supremo does have this Annihilation available. Is this the fight we're going to roll credits? I don't think so, but it could be.
Wow.
Nice play from Supremo, just getting the immediate 2 kills right there, forcing the back line of...
Their D.Va's up there holding stairs, man. Their team has to walk up. You have to walk into the ram and force them to hold block. You gotta put damage. And you need to shoot him in the back, too. I think it was for the rest of their team, they need to walk up.
Absolutely. Supremo not taking very much damage at all, quite honestly. Just kind of chilling for the most part. Shooting down main, getting some spam damage, potentially getting a kill onto somebody. That window comes out, but I don't think it's going to do too much. Supremo getting another kill, just really dominating on this ram. And here comes the Annihilation Overwatch roll credits. That'll do it, folks. The namesake coming out. That is a decision that Mayo just made right there. That is a real decision that just happened. To be fair, that was last fight, so you kind of needed to do that. And here come all the ultimates out, just trying to get some sort of point presence if you're Splyce Black, but nothing. Nothing making do there. And there it is, map number 1 going to Black Pearl in, quite frankly, pretty dominant fashion. To me, that felt like Black Pearl just knew how to play their composition way better than Splyce Black knew how to play their composition. What are you thinking about that?
Definitely. The thing for me is, first off, I would have played Winston there on the last map because they have a very vulnerable backline to a Winston engage. With that, just because of the BAP and the Juno. The problem is with Junos, when you hit fly, the BAP only has his burst, regen burst to heal you. So that's another problem. And plus with Juno just being nerfed with her movement speed, it's really hard for her to avoid that. And what happens is you get you split the ram off. Because at one point they need to make a lot more pressure on the Ram's backline because he's not going to do anything if he's able to sit there and hold block. And then I don't know. The D was just kind of all over the map to me. Mayo, he was just kind of all over the map. Nobody really pressured the Ram out to begin with, anyway.
No, absolutely, agreed.
Like, not only does that backline needs to be cut off, but also needs to be more pressure on the Ram. I don't know if they're just afraid to shoot him. But you definitely need to make him hold block, because at least he's holding block. He's not doing anything. He's not pushing. Just hold the space, and that's about it. For it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is what it seemed like was happening a large majority of the time. Supremo was just kind of standing main, either holding their arms up or punching somebody right in the face, and doing a really good job of any time Altus or Nakali went on any of these flanks, just immediately dealing with them. Just very quick 1-2, you're out of the way. And the same was not happening for Splyce Black, obviously. Like, Sultan was not being dealt with swiftly most of the time. There was a few times where Altus was hitting like one of those headshots, but that's not a reliable way to win fights consistently. You can't just be like, oh yeah, just hit headshots all the time. That's how we win fights. No. You need to have like an actual plan going in, and it really felt like Splyce Black did not have a plan in most of these fights, and Black Pearl knew exactly what they wanted to do every single fight, from their ult usage to their positioning on the map, to getting as much percentage as they could just so consistently. And we're seeing King's Row coming up next, and I mean, that's another map I would think that Ramatra is going to be really, really good on. And if you're not going to just mirror the Ramatra as Splyce Black, you might just want to play Orisa. Orisa is just Ramatra with, well, you can have a shield, second perk, but it's just got a Ramatra without the fists,
Yeah, it's Definitely, Orisa can be a good pick into Ram. I would say currently Ram's a bit strong. But if you're just trying to look for like a counter swap and just to get him off, use Spear to get him off you to force out the block.
Yeah.
Um, you just have those tools and just the amount of sustain that gets fine. There's also if you play Malga here, there could be a Malga counter swap going on. Just after shield, poke him out of shield and afterwards just shoot him and you just farm so much self heal off of a Ramantra. It makes it really tough for him to play because then he's got to watch his corners and how much damage he's taking because he can't be eating all that ammo.
Yeah.
But that could be a potential counter swap. There's also just a chance just to go dive yourself. You could just completely go dive and try to out rotate him, especially on first point. Just try to take the high grounds away. There could be even like a potential hazard pick. I could see that if anybody plays that here. But I'd like to see the Splyce
Yeah.
Black is more angles control. Every time their team just went main, nobody ever tried to contest point from a different route, right? They
Yep.
either just try to force main the whole time. I'd like to see, maybe two people go that way, three go that way. Just something like a tracer just needs to go contest point a bit more. Turn the enemy's attention away, make it so somebody has to drop and mirror you and force healing on them. And I don't know what to see. What's banned? Are we able to look to see what's banned?
Well, we got
I'm
Juno
assuming Lucio
and
was banned last game.
yeah, it's Juno and well, Arya.
Juno. I wouldn't
Another.
ban Juno personally. I don't think
Nah.
Juno's that. Knowing that you'll get Lucio this game,
Yeah.
since he can't be banned again, I would
Yeah.
definitely I wouldn't waste a ban on a Juno. I don't think it's
I
that important.
If I was gonna ban a support, I'd probably ban Kiriko or Ana personally. Like, just take one of
That
those two out of the picture. I think they're more crucial. Or you can even go for Brigitte if you're looking for that less protective backline. But I don't know. I'm not a Juno believer. I'm just not.
Yeah, it depends what you want to play. Like if you're gonna play a Ram, you probably want to play a Bap Lucio with the, if you're gonna play like a Malga, I'd definitely opt for a Kiri over the Bap. Just you're cleansed. Not only does it thwart off an Ana pick, but it helps him in the situation where his ammo management isn't well. You can cover that second. Malga has a 2.5, about that. It's about 2.2 second reload animation timing. And that's critical. Playing around the Malga ammo is critical because for that second he cannot heal. You have such a big hitbox. You take so much damage that you're peaking if you're not managing your ammo properly because it's your self healing. You're not shooting. You're not healing.
Yep,
Um,
that is
Bands
correct.
are Juno and Ram. So Ram coming in other bands. So we're probably going to see the Orisa played. There could be potential hazard pick.
Yeah.
Maybe
With
somebody plays
the
poke here. I don't know.
Yeah, with the Orisa being picked, I think there's a potential for Orisa to go against Sigma, like you said. I think Malga becomes much less likely now, just simply due to fortify, and the javelin spin, just denying too much time for Malga. Like Malga cannot be
Yeah.
not doing something for that period of time. That's probably the best way I can put it. Malga has to be doing something the whole time he is in a fight. He cannot be not doing something, like because he's gonna die instantly. You mentioned it before. He's got way too big of a hitbox. He's got to constantly be shooting somebody, have cardiac overdrive on, be pinning or running, whatever you want to call it. He has to be doing something, and Orisa just stops that for like a few seconds, and that's enough to really impact you heavily. So we might just see Orisa mirrors
Definitely.
just going at each other. Some Orisa Kiri Lucio, something like that.
Orisa definitely play really fast on Malga, and Orisa can kind of deny. Orisa has a bit more pacing control over Malga,
Yeah.
and in that kind of aspect on Singland's like better than the other. There's still ways to play around that, but
Yeah.
Orisa definitely has that. There's also like again like a potential for a Sig here. You can just play poke and that also thwart off. And Sig's a good pick into Orisa. If you struggle into Orisa, going Sig's usually a really good pick. You need a BAP though. Go BAP Sig. Even though like as long as they don't have anything to pressure your backline, if they're gonna run let's say double hit scan, then you can even play Zenith. Then the Discord's huge. Otherwise, you can play Nolari. Even like Lucio's really good
Yeah.
with the Sig. Some people think playing Sig Lucio's bad. No, Lucio's fine with the Sig. It helps you hide and fight there, in a since you're just stationary. Oop. And it's Mirror Orisa.
We're seeing the mirror Orisas. I like the Bap Lucio over the Kiri Lucio here personally, but
I like it because they're
maybe.
running the May. I think it goes so much better with the May.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the fact that BAP is going to just do so much better grouped up with people. And that's kind of the big benefit you get over the Kiriko. Kiriko can output a lot of healing, but BAP can output a lot of healing to a bunch of people at the same time, whereas Kiri just kind of has to pick somebody. And so Nakali still has yet to pick. I don't feel like we're going to see the Mei pick come out from Nakali. We're going to see a Genji. That's tough. I have a hard time
Well, the
seeing
May
Genji
pick is
getting major
huge.
value here. Genji
I
feels
can
like
see
you're just
you
making
with Kiri.
things a lot harder on yourself for no reason.
It does, but you have the Kiri. I can see a Genji pick here with the Kiri. But since they're running May, yeah, I'd probably swap. Honestly, go Pharah here.
That wouldn't be a bad pick if you happen to be a Pharah player.
Go
But it
Pharah,
looks like
go
Nakali.
Symmetra.
Looks like Nakali gonna continue, and here comes the Pharah pick. Pharah pick is out.
Ooh.
Almost gets shot down by Noodles immediately. Noodles being a dominant player on this. Sultan on the Mei taking down Nakali on the Pharah. 2 deaths for Nakali already. My goodness. Supremo again just dominating Mayo on this Orisa so far. Just doing what I like to call existing really hard. That's what Orisa does best.
What they need to care there is they need to care. They fed the Sojourn way too much rail. You need to use Javelin Spin to walk up. And, your team can peek into her. 'Cause otherwise, you just fed her so much rail and you take so much damage.
Exactly.
This is really bad. Not regrouping, not walking fully. You need to walk together right there. You need to let your Orisa walk first. The Orisa should be the one taking the spear there, not you.
Exactly. And we're seeing an amplification matrix already about to come up from Mimic. Probably going to drop it in main as soon as the team decides to walk here. That is a huge ult advantage, though, that we're seeing. And look at this Mayo just getting soloed out once again by these May walls, and that is tough to
That
see.
is so huge.
And there you go, another fight going the way of Black Pearl. Not even having to use any of these ultimates yet, and they have a ton of them to spare. I mean, just look at this ult discrepancy right now. Monster just nowhere near this sound barrier, so there's going to be nothing to deal with what's about to happen here shortly. Still nothing just yet, just both teams just kind of poking at each other right now. Black Pearl probably waiting for a move to be made here. Mayo getting soloed out by this wall once again, and out comes the amplification matrix.
What I don't get here is you play the Lucio, but they're not using speed. They're not walking through choke quickly from one corner to the other. I will say, Nepali had chances there on the far to get fixed there. Had a lot of chances. I'm also not sure about that BAP. I don't know why BAPs do this. You don't use BAP window for your team, use it for yourself. Because the healing output and the damage you get is much greater for you to use in your whole team. It's pretty hard to coordinate that.
No, absolutely. It's usually pretty useful. Just drop it right in front of yourself whenever your team's engaged in a real heavy fight. And now we're seeing Mayo on this Winston, but again, this isn't a super diveable team right here, so I think you're going to have a hard time getting value on this Winston. Altus getting 2 kills, though, taking down Mimic and Noodles. This could be the chance. But, nah, I don't think anything's going to happen here. Maybe if Mayo had Primal, something could happen, but nah, see, that's just really smart. LEQ immediately getting tracked down by Supremo.
Yeah, I need to go back. I don't get the venture pick. You need to go back Genji, because now you have a Winston. Winston's good.
Yeah, this is tough, honestly. There's not really a lot of openings in this comp right now from Black Pearl. Just complete dominance. Nakali getting that kill onto Arlington, though, is exactly what you need right here. Monster getting noodleized. Mayo getting Sultan. Hold on, but Mimic takes down Nakali. This is it. This is the moment that Splyce Black needed. And it's looking like they're going to cap first point. Maybe a touch comes in from Black Pearl, but I think you'd be smart here to just give this and fight for the next point.
Definitely.
And there you go. The point comes in right there. What do you think was causing Splyce Black to take that fight right there?
First off, this Sojourn had a huge angle for overclock. Really good. A lot of aggressive pressure with that. Secondly, the Lucio did get himself into the pick. I really thought the overclock there created so much pressure that their team had to play into the Winston bubble really hard and split their team.
Absolutely great early picks coming out from Altus in that fight. And I think here you might want to play for this Kitsune rush of LAQ. Just give up this window right here. You're 99 on the Kitsune. Wait for the window to drop, and you can drop this Kitsune right into this choke point right here. And you did it just a hair too early. You gotta wait for the amp matrix to go down.
Yeah. They walked in. Mayo was not even full HP walking in. You're walking in front of Mayo. Another problem a lot of Curies make is they look at the pathing of it. They put that right on cart. And the problem is then that forces you to play really aggressive with Kitsune, because then you have to walk up with it. Instead of walking back a bit so you can sit back and heal everyone while your team walks up and uses Kitsune.
Absolutely. So it's like, yeah, you could have easily just popped it like right back here, and you still get the same area effect with it. But also, like I said, it helps to wait until the amp matrix is down, so you're not just standing still in front of the enemy team. Altus does have this overclock online again, and they were really good with it last time. Let's see if they can make a play this time.
No one's contesting top right now. Reaper's in main. I would go top with your Lucio. Ooh, Venture goes top.
Venture does have ultimate available as well. We got a lot of ults on both sides, and here come both overclocks. Another amp matrix from Mimic. Sultan solo ulting with the Death Blossom. You love to see it. And it's looking like Monster and LEQ are going to get out of that fight. You only burn 2 ultimates, though, if you're Splyce Black, whereas Black Pearl burned 4 ultimates in that fight.
That might come back to bite them here.
Not a particularly good play, but this is also last fight that's upcoming right now. Monster probably going to give a sound barrier engage until LEQ can build up to this Kitsune rush. And Akali cannot die with ultimate, though. Here comes the sound barrier engage. Nobody's walking through the choke, though. Nobody's walking through that choke just yet, so we're still seeing the same thing. Supremo doing a good job of being Orisa and existing super hard. Almost has the Terra Surge, but you cannot play into the Kitsune Rush. That is going to be a tough angle to try and play. It's a lot of damage coming through. Do not walk forward and do this. Oh, Lord, here we go. Akali managing to go down to that some way, somehow. Mayo probably about to go down here as well. And we're just seeing the picks continue to come through for the side of Black Pearl. Supremo shooting the wall right now. Like I said, existing really hard on that Orisa. And, you know, as much of a meme as it is, the shield actually is such a good perk for Orisa. That shield is so helpful. Overall, though, solid push from Splyce Black. They honestly probably had no business even getting a single tick on point 1. So, you know, getting into point 2 at all, managing to get through the first choke of point 2, I would say is got to be a win for you, at least in some capacity. But, I mean, from what we've seen so far, Splyce Black cannot compete with Black Pearl on that Orisa poke/brawl comp. They don't seem to understand how to play it quite as well as Black Pearl does.
Again, put the Venture there. To me, I like the idea of flank. They should have at the end. They tried to flank with Lucio, but their timing was really off. Their timing from when their team and them engaged was really bad. But they should have tried that again with Venture ult Lucio going all the way around right side, and then you can walk forward and Venture ult when you try to walk in through choke. I also thought they beat it really early. Didn't really need to beat there. They just beat it just to take damage, in my opinion. I would have waited to beat. I would have sent Lucio around right side with the Venture, and then beat your team as they walk in. That would have been, because then you would have actually taken damage and gotten more value with the beat.
You heard it here first, folks. Weeping beats his teammates.
Is it? Oh, it's Epic Rig. My favorite's Peppermint Bird. I do have that on this account. I'm very happy with it. Interesting counter swap to see here. Playing the Zarya.
I like the Symmetra pick here, quite honestly. Symmetra pick's really nice here. Nikali's got to hit headshots on this Hanzo, or it's not going to be a valuable pick. And again, you're asking a lot out of your players right now. Like, your players are putting themselves in situations where they have to make really strong mechanical plays, and that's not a situation you want to be in, right? Look at what Supremo's doing right now. Supremo is just walking forward, holding a button, and managing to put all this pressure on the back line. Mayo does take down Noodle Eyes, though. That's something you really needed to see right there. Nikali, there's the headshot onto Arlington that we needed to see. Anti going out onto Sultan. You're going to have to take down that Symmetra. And there you go. It looks like side of Black Pearl got a little bit split in that fight. And Mayo and Nikali managing to take some advantage of what's going on there. LEQ trying to get these antis off as well.
He's pretty broken right now. You're just playing to get random headshots like that when they walk through choke. Another thing is Zarya, now I'm thinking about it, Zarya's good in Symmetra. You can, if you play correctly, you can get charge off of her, and you can burst her down before she can burst you down. Now, they're not using TP here as Symmetra. I would have TP'd my Rissa back when she was low HP.
Oh, well, they swapped to May. Sultan's on May now.
Oh, I see that now.
Yep, so they must have had that same thought that you did, that we shouldn't be playing Symmetra into the Zarya. May would be better. Yeah, we're going to try and just wall people off and whatnot. Mayo just kind of popping off on the Zarya right now.
Yep.
And we're seeing a grab. We're seeing a grab available here. Arlington nowhere near this sound barrier. Arlington is nowhere near this sound barrier either.
How you beat Zarya is you either burst her out or play like really slow. You either just everybody burst her and shoot her because she's so squishy, Maywaller and everybody shoot her, or you just kind of ignore her and play really slow. And that's how you beat Zarya. That's her big weakness. She does not have good pacing control.
Worth noting is we have a Freya pick that just came out. Arlington managing to take down Mayo there, and Monster getting the kills. The raid boss, the Brigitte coming through, getting the kills. I think that's 4 I just saw Brigitte get right there. Who is this crazy person? It's a monster, one might say. And with that, we're looking at a Nano overclock and another Dragon available for Nikali. Big thing here, though, you don't have anything to really protect your team at all. No defensive ultimates to speak of. Sultan getting close on that Blizzard. You gotta pay attention to your backline. If Sultan just yeets a Blizzard onto your backline, that's it. Altis once again just popping off on this Sojourn. Nikali continuing to just hit these shots, you know? So I can't hate the pick if you're just going to continue to hit all the shots, right?
Yeah. Their Freya needs to put a lot of pressure to me on the Brig shield. That should be your job, is putting pressure on the Brig.
Here comes the Blizzard. It's looking like it's catching both support players out. Nice bubble coming out, but Monster still gets frozen. Here comes the Bolo. Not much to speak of there. Nikali gonna have to hit some crazy headshot on this Hans for the team to have a chance. Does not look like that's gonna be the case though. And looks like we're gonna see a 0.1 capture coming through for Black Pearl, but you know, it's not over with yet. There's still another choke at least that has to be pushed through. So there is still a chance if you're Splyce Black, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lot. I think it's gonna be a lot harder to play the defense on this next point.
Definitely. Big overextend though from Mayo. You need to know the ult's coming, so you need to save a bubble so you can get someone out of it, either you or somebody else out. Now they're making a big pro by now. We talk about this. Big guy's cart right now. This choke is really hard. If you get yourself poked out here in like a 5v2 when you die like this, it's gonna be really hard to push this cart through choke. If they had 3 guys cart, they would easily have gone through choke. Now you see this. Now they might lose the game now because they couldn't get through choke here. and you cannot get
Oh,
through choke easily. Not without ultimates usually.
Mayo's got to be careful here. You have double support ults if you're the side of Black Pearl. We're close to a Grab Dragon. Do we see a Grab Dragon special? Nikali, I'm going to need you to poke somebody out, get 20% ult charge real quick, Blake, because I would love to see that. Of course, I never get to see what I want to see.
Not a good grab, not a good window either though. But choosing to go in and feed like that was interesting.
Like I said, it's a tough place to be at as a tank. You feel like you're not doing much of anything, but all you really needed to do was just kind of exist in front of the choke right there, and that would have been enough. Just be
Yeah,
there,
the window
be a
was really
thing
bad
that
anyway.
has to be dislodged. And like I said, you were about to come up on a grab dragon. That is clearing. That's clearing quite a few people, right? So you had a chance there if you're Splyce Black. You just had a couple of goofy missteps right there. But significantly closer game that time than what we saw in Busan. But Ramatra ban is out of the way, cannot happen again. So that's kind of tough because it did seem like Black Pearl has a better grasp of Ramatra than you do.
Yeah. To me, they're also with the grab. If you're gonna grab like that, I'd grab him to the ceiling or grab him to the wall where nobody can even use window, or grab him behind cart. You have a 7 meter pull range on grab. Do that, and so nobody can just
Hmm.
pull him behind cart. Somebody can really use window, and then just wait it out. And then you have the dragon for zoning when they want to walk out of choke again.
Yeah.
For that again, I'd say 2 overextends there for Mayo, and that lost them the fight there. What's the next map gonna be? Um,
That's a very good question. People tend to pick Flashpoint a lot, so I wouldn't be
yeah,
shocked if we end up going. It's gonna be push. Okay. In that case, it'd
but
probably be like Runasapi or something.
oh, that map's gross. I think Esperance and Palisade is New Queen Street's just. Maybe I've just lost too many games in that map.
No, Esperanza. Okay, so it's Esperanza. There is potential to see some brawl here still. There's also potential to see some dive. I think Winston plays particularly well on this map, but
There's a
if
lot
you're
of high
having to,
grounds.
yeah, but if you're having to dive into stuff that's just really tough for you to live through, it might be just, meta usually just ends up being what is the easiest thing to play and get the most consistent value out of. That's usually your two questions you need to answer. What can I get the most value out of that is the easiest thing to replicate over and over again? So
Yeah, it's
that's it's so
but
it's
depending
like
upon the
that
bans,
that's how you end up on a ram. That's how you end up on a ram, Kiri Lucio or Bap Lucio. It's like these are the easiest things to play and get that consistent value out of.
yeah, I would say let's see what the bans are going to be here. Because to me, that would determine what we're going to play. If I'm Spice Black, let's turn this around. Let's play dive here. I think they had the most success playing a dive and splitting them, and you kind of punish. You can see a little bit from Supremo, a little bit of getting himself caught, overextended there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely say if they're a bit, if Spice Black, was fully coordinated on this, you either find themselves doing nothing or getting backshot and taking a lot of damage on the ramp. So that's a potential to look at. To me, I would go with the Winston here for Black Pearl, just run it back on the ramp.
You heard it here first, folks. You don't want to get back shots on the Ramatra. Annihilation Overwatch, people. This is what we're talking about here tonight.
Yes.
And I think I'm not sure what you can ban that'll necessarily force a dive per se. You already removed the Ramatra one time. We've removed Lucio one time. It's kind of tough. You could, you could try and ban like a May or something if you really don't want them to play any sort of brawl comp, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think of what hero you could get rid of that could force somebody into a dive comp. And I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not seeing what hero you can get rid of right now that can force you off of the Ramatra composition outside of just banning
No,
Ramatra again.
there's not going to be really anything, which is fine. It's not, it's not
Yeah.
always who you play. It's kind of how you play it.
Yeah.
For it, to me, you think are we better on if we're looking at trying to ban support? Do you think we're better on Lucio or on the Juno, or do we just want to see Screw and just play an Ana? If we think we're better on a Brig, then we can just go on a Brig Winston dive. That
Yeah.
could be okay on this map as long as you stick to high grounds. Bams are Bap and Orisa. Whoa.
That's an interesting choice. I was gonna say, like, if you wanted to try and prevent an anti-dive, you could potentially ban Brigitte and go Kiri Lucio and just go for the speed dive if that's the thing you're feeling. But I haven't gotten a feel for what Splyce Black really wants to do yet. They seem kind of all over the place. I'm not getting any sort of consistent idea of what they want to play. Honestly, the thing they look the best on so far was this Zarya composition we just saw them play on Kings Row. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they played that again. Honestly, I don't necessarily know if it's the best thing to play, but
I don't know about that.
What else have you had success on?
Probably the Winston. They did take first point. Maybe. We'll see. It might just be Mirror Ram for all I know. But again, if they're gonna play Ram here, just play the Malga. Like, you have Bat banned anyway, so there's no point to play Bat Lucio. Go Kiri Lucio, go Malga, and play it that way. And then we play the Reaper, but let's just TP behind with the Reaper. Malga, go Reaper, Malga, Venture, and Kiri Lucio. That's a really strong comp right there. Really good. A lot of brawl potential with that comp. You're just gonna run over and play really, really fast for that. And you'll find yourself in a position on Ram where you just kind of have to play corner and just try to win the cooldown trade in main there, and you're just going to look to throw slow on the Venture if you use a go in. But I definitely stole that comp from a team that I was coaching a while ago. They were really successful running that on Flashpoint or on like Samoa, just like those heavy brawl. Like, it's a really good heavy brawl.
No, absolutely. And it's really simple too, right? It's like, hey, we all understand. We all need to walk forward at these people and obliterate them. And that's the entire thought process. And I see right now a Junker Queen getting picked. I don't think Junker Queen's very good at the moment, but that could also be why we saw Orisa get banned. Maybe that's the idea here. Get rid of the thing that completely denies Queen. But again, I've tried playing Queen myself in the scrim environments lately. There's not a good target for you to go on a lot of times.
Queen's like Roadhog level bad. I'm saying this as a Queen player. Pause. Just so I get to finish my quote. I'm saying this as a Queen player myself. Queen's really bad. To me, the hardest thing to play against Queen is Ramattra. Ramattra is just the biggest counter to Queen. The slow, the shield, just the unkillability of it. It's just really, really hard for you to do much on Queen. A nice part about Queen is you need, the most important part of playing Queen is having good movement. And you can kind of dodge spear a bit, even though that is oppressive. Going against good Queen players, you do get that. But it's going to be that you can kind of dodge spear a bit and play with corners, and you kind of have to flank and play from angles. I think Queen is like Roadhog level bad right now. I really don't recommend playing Queen. Queen, Hogran, Zarya. Those are the heroes you don't want to play right now on tank.
It's Queen is just one of those characters that, in order to make Queen work, you would have to be so much better than the other person is on tank. That it just it doesn't make any sense to play the character. That's really the state that it's in at the moment. At least, and again, this is my experience playing it too. Because if I'm playing somebody and we're equal on tank, I should probably just mirror them, quite honestly. Like that's usually going to result. That's usually going to result in the best thing in
mirror counter swap. And Queen, I'll tell you what you play Queen. You play Queen when somebody plays poke or dive on a brawl map, on a hard brawl map. Then Queen is okay. So let's say the enemy team they go like Winston here. Then Queen's okay, right? Queen can also be okay in the hazard. It's really good in the Diva. It can be pretty good in the Sigma. Again, just like the in your face potential with Queen to really you can win the cooldown trade against those heroes in particular. Of course, it's good if they run Brig Juno, right? Queen is such a good counter into Brig. Her ultimate counters Juno ultimate, and you usually get it about the same time too, just because those are two of the longer building ults in the game. But just Kiri Lucio is such a denial for Queen. To me, it's kind of more on the trolling end to pick Queen unless you're a really high player on Queen.
No, I absolutely agree.
I haven't played much Queen myself. Well, Granted, I haven't played too much recently, but I pretty much quit playing her after like season 13. She just hasn't quite been. Never got really the same benefits of the tanks on perks.
No, no, not at all. It's a tough pick, and you're playing into a diva, which is another one of those tanks that Queen's
Ooh,
value. That defense matrix can do a lot to stop you. And again, right here,
Queen is good into that.
I would say Brigida is probably your best target you can run on.
Oh,
But
definitely.
it's still gonna be tough. I feel like, at least I feel like this is way tougher than you just playing more Brawly style comp with a different tank.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah. Late
But
rotation.
there you go. Everybody just kind of splits, and Supremo just kind of walking it down on this Junker Queen. We're seeing why they have that here, their profile picture for the game.
Yeah. Definitely there. If you're the diva, you gotta go back and counter dive Matrix off the Queen there. Very late death here. You need to like die hard or die sooner. Or be staggered.
I'm not sure why Monster just did. Monster just bashed in and died like intentionally. I'm not sure why that just occurred right there.
Might have been an accident for anyone out here. If you have your bash button set to one of your primary fire buttons, I would change it to your melee button so you can swing shield really well. Pro tip from a GM grid player.
You heard it here first, people. Mayo getting the kill onto Mimic, and we have a pause.
They
I
DC.
wonder, I wonder if Mimic DC'd, and that's how they died so early right there.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird death from them.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they did DC. That makes a
there
lot
it
of
is.
sense.
There it is. The
I thought
DC has occurred. Seeing a lot of push though already, and I believe the checkpoint has already been gotten by Black Pearl, and it's not really taking very much effort from Black Pearl to really just dismantle Splyce Black right now so far. What are you thinking?
I think part of that's just the composition. You play Big Juno Diva into Junker Queen. You at least like you can make this composition work in theory, but you're gonna have to speed ring on and send your Genji up. But your Genji right now should be playing top. You should be playing on the high ground, and your Sojourn should be playing on the other high ground. So your Genji can drop in, and then you like Juno ring in with a torpedo engage, and then you have your Sojourn there for follow up damage, and like they can't take this corner. Usually, what you see happen in good enough level scrims is here's the point where you have to flip the map. So this is points where you'll see for Black Pearl, you have to kind of like flip the map so you can go underneath an example and try to get to their high ground here. Because a lot of times forcing main, the enemies have so much pressure because they have high ground control on both sides. It's really hard to peek this corner here without ultimate. So you can see like potential. Like I would, if they're gonna play here, I would just go underneath and try to like look for picks in the back line like that. For that an example, or you just speed hard around, go right side and try to look for picks this way. But otherwise, I mean, this is just a huge comp diff. If you're going to be playing three heroes that Junker Queen's very good into, it's interesting. Definitely, if you want to go like anti-Junker Queen, go Kiri Lucio, go Cassidy, and then go May, go Reaper. May's huge. Even Symmetra can be good.
I will say I am fascinated by the fact that we haven't seen a Kiriko swap already. You know, I feel like that's something that should be called out fight one. It's like,
Yeah.
hey guys, they have a queen. We deny basically all of Queen's ultimate, you know, which is, in my opinion, it would be the best ultimate in the game if Kiriko did not
Yeah,
exist.
definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
but since Kiriko exists, it's a really bad ultimate. So,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you have the thing that completely denies
I mean,
not
LEQ there,
using it.
you see it on the flex support. Like, you don't have much ult charge really to begin with. You're not
Yeah,
saving. There's really no point to stay. The only point you're staying is, I guess, you have a diva. So then it's like, I can see playing you. You got to play Juno if you have a diva, or you got to play like Ana. Like, I could see it for that. Okay, let's say you want to play the Kiriko there. What
yeah.
you do is you just kind of have to flank, and you have to like playing positions, just like hold
Mhm.
high grounds and flank like that. Make their tracer like rotate onto you like that, and just kind of go for like flanks and either flank with your Genji or flank with your Diva.
And we're back, folks. Mimic has returned to the game. And we're seeing Mayo just kind of chilling in main, looking for this kill onto Sultan. But Sultan managing to get away. Mayo needs to be careful. They're going to lose mech.
Altus, huge flank right here. This is going to be a lot of value.
I cannot believe Mayo did not lose mech right there. That is crazy. What a crazy flank by Altus right there.
Yeah, to me, that was a good flank. I would have speed ringed in there. I would have waited to speed ring and then go in with your flank on Altus there, taking it. But they were definitely up a pit player there, so it's kind of no surprise here that they won this. Seeing that when their players DC'd.
Absolutely. Mayo continuing to just get these stagger kills right now. Not sure what's going on to cause that. Sultan has the pulse bomb and Supremo has this annihilation online. Mayo does have bomb available and Monster just about at that rally.
Annihilation.
Oh, did I say that? Huh.
Rampage.
Yeah, that one. I always say those backwards for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. No credits are going to be rolled here tonight. We rolled credits in one. Mimic going down to the bomb. Did they DC again, or was that just a bomb kill in 2025?
Does happen. Go to Mega. Go to Mega. Go grab Mega if you're Mayo. Don't make your supports heal you right now. They're under a lot of stress. To me, they're just to overextend again from Splyce there. They did not. You know, their Diva was pushing. Like, I would have put Tracer on the car and then set up and engage. You'd kind of wait for your Juno to walk up anyway. She's on cart.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what we saw. Sultan went cart, so we had a Tracer going into, I think it was a Juno and a Brig on cart. So you just had the matchup that Sultan was winning, and it just messed up the entire vibe of your push right there. We are going to see Nakali having this blade
Tracer
on.
has no recall. I would be looking to make a push in here.
And there goes the Rampage. Does catch on to 3 targets. There goes 1. Supremo trying to get a second, but Nakali getting the kills with that blade. Good ult usage so far. Noodles only managing to get a mech with their ultimate, and Altus getting the kill on the Noodles. We're probably gonna see a little bit more cart push come in here. And you know, you might be getting a little close to that checkpoint territory. Altus having this overclock online is crucial, but Arlington has the sound barrier to try and deny. Yeah.
Go here quickly before they can just match your, if they double support ult.
There goes the overclock and the beat matching each other out as we expected, but Mimic managing to take down Altus there early, and that's going to mean Splyce Black needs to retreat. Still 5.5 minutes on this map though, so you got plenty of time there. And yeah, that's a good point.
Before they have Jumper Queen ultimate.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Because Supremo coming up on that Rampage already once again. There goes the Kitsune into the orbital ray. Rampage does come out, catches on the 3 targets. LEQ going down. Look at the trades just going back and forth here, but Sultan managing to get the best of it so far. It looks like Mayo getting the kill on the Sultan. Mayo said, I'm gonna bomb, I don't care. Gonna get this mech back, and then immediately potentially get demeched once again. We're gonna see a little bit more cart push come in from Black Pearl here. Gets up to 76 meters. That is pretty important because that's probably like a whole extra fight that has to happen after the checkpoint now. Whereas before we were looking at like 60 meters, we were just barely past the checkpoint. Now we're substantially past the checkpoint.
It's a fight, maybe a touch if you play it right.
Supremo just immediately getting this backline out of the way, as they have been on every map so far, quite frankly. Supremo's just doing a great job of constantly laying this pressure down onto the enemy team, and constantly being full HP while doing so, might I add. The Supremo is like never low HP.
That's farming it, and the big mistake here is he's face tanking the Diva, or face tanking the Junker Queen too much on Diva. You want to, when he rotates, you want to deny the rotation, right? And deny the self. You don't want to stay on the Queen LOS too much. You'll just take a lot of damage for no reason. Like that right there. getting knifed and getting axe on you is not necessary. I would just started top and deny follow up. That's
Seeing the rally come out from Monster. Supremo does get that overstep right there. Gets immediately stunned and taken down by Monster, but Noodle Eyes takes down Mayo right in response. Monster, once again, just making big-time plays on this Brigitte so consistently. Doing a great job on that.
big rally. Definitely.
Sultan does take down Mayo, but it was Baby Diva, so you really do want your Diva back anyways. And you don't have a response for the Rampage that is available for the side of Black Pearl. You don't have a response for this.
They should have played in position to run away when you're down your Diva like that.
Supremo only manages to take down Altis, so that's not too bad, but you still have to regroup regardless of that. And there's some potential that you might lose LEQ, and there goes LEQ. I'm not sure how the team managed to get so split like that. You needed to wait for Altis to come back. And now here we are. Noodles probably looking for this overclock here around this next corner. So many ultimates online for Black. You know? Nice shot coming out from Noodles, taking down Nikali. Trying to get Monster next. Monster goes down, but Altis takes down Noodles. And is Altis going to pop an overclock in response? Probably not, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, bad stagger again. It's okay sometimes just to die card. Super common on Diva. Supremo might just get another Queen Ult. If I was to say anything to Supremo, they need to target the Brig more with their Queen Ult. Their last Queen Ult was, they need to target the Brig with it.
Mayo does go Hazard here. I believe that was another hero you said Queen plays really well into. So it seems like Mayo... Oh, okay.
It's not as bad of a matchup as, but the idea is you can pull him back when he goes to jump in, and you can farm your bleed off of him really good too. Just simply because Hazard has lack of damage on enemy tanks, he just doesn't do enough to really do anything to armor or just disrupt that much HP. Plus Queen has a small hitbox, and he comes as a shotgun spread.
Yeah, Hazard is interesting. Hazard really good at taking down squishy characters in my experience, but like you said, can't really do that much to tank players. You feel like you're shooting them with like a pellet gun or something. it just does not feel like very much damage is going out onto those tanks. Altis taking down Sultan here, but Sultan getting LEQ is huge because that's your only ultimate available right now. Is that Ray? Arlington's still holding on to that sound barrier, and Supremo has the Rampage online once again. They've been doing a really good job with his ult so far. I'm thinking they're probably going to try and get Monster, like you said. That's the big person to take care of. Monster been doing a huge job on this Brigitte so far.
Early wall, now you really can't go anywhere. You let yourself get poked out by the Junker Queen, which is what you don't want. Now,
out comes the Rampage, catches onto 2 targets. Altis does go down. Arlington looking for this kill onto LEQ. Supremo does manage to get it. Sultan taking down Nikali. Monster gonna be next. Beating on the head of Monster, as you do. And Black Pearl gonna be taking it in a 3-0 fashion. Splyce Black had some moments. They had moments, but they were just relying on crazy mechanical plays more often than not. Like, that's what it was. It was like, okay, somebody needs to go in hero, right? Otherwise, we're not gonna win this fight.
The fights they won, they were definitely, like, you look at this map, they won the fights because they had ultimates, and they had good ultimates. Off of that, like, they really couldn't dry fight well at all. They got definitely picked early. They definitely, to me, I would say for Splyce Black, looking at this, first off, I would just pick some different composition choices, and I'd look at just how much pressures we're having on different angles. Really, everybody just seems to be playing main, and this last map's culmination, everybody's playing right in the Junker Queen, and she got a lot of ults off for that amount of time. For a Junker Queen's that's a longer ult.
No, most definitely. That means a lot of axe swings are hitting multiple targets. It's the only way you can be building that ultimate up that quickly, I think. So that is pretty crazy. So let's start with the honorable mention here for the side of Splyce Black. I have somebody in mind. I'm gonna hear what you have to say first, and then I'll say what I have to say, and we
To
can
me, it
we
would
can
be
make a decision
Altus.
off that. Okay.
I'd go Altus because, like, to me, their Sojourn, they had some pretty good flanks. They got a
Mhm.
lot of entry picks, in my opinion. They definitely, I think Monster would also be in contention for it.
Yeah.
Uh, the reason to me is just like the fact that you're just getting so many entry picks on it, and they
Yeah.
were the only one to me that were taking angles and contested it.
See, I
What do
was
you
gonna
think?
say I was gonna say Monster because I thought Monster was the person that was playing consistently well with or without ultimate. When they had
Mm,
their ultimate, they were getting 4 and 5 Ks on Brigida. When they didn't have their ultimate, they were just, for the most part, staying alive. They weren't really getting picked early too often on that Brigida. But I'm okay with Altus as well because it seemed like they were getting a
yeah,
lot of early
I'd
kills
say
on
both
that.
are definitely both definitely played very well in their team, in my opinion.
All right, so we'll flip a coin. Uh, you know what? Let's just roll with Altus. Go with the Sojourn player. I'm
All
totally
right.
cool with that. So Altus, honorable mention for the side of Black. And for Black Pearl, what were you thinking there? I had a particular thought as well, but I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
I mean, to me, I'm just gonna say nothing to me will really outdo the pressure Supremo put on as a tank.
Yeah.
Just to me, the tank, the pressure. Not just like not only did he play fundamentally well, I think
Hmm.
just he did his job of taking a lot more damage than he did, and he just made the enemy team react to him.
Yeah.
It's like everybody had to react to Supremo. That's my opinion.
That's exactly what I was gonna say as well. Nobody stuck out to me as hard as Supremo did for the side of Black Pearl, so that's what I was gonna roll with also. So we're in agreement on that one as well. So yeah, we'll say MVP of the match then goes to Supremo for the side of Black Pearl. Honorable mention going to go to Altus for the side of Splyce Black. But Monster also played incredibly well for Splyce Black.
Yeah, Monster still put. Yeah, but I think it's close between the two.
Yes.
Um, Either way, I think they played the best on their team.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, that's going to do it for our match here tonight. I believe we have one right after this as well. Is that correct, Arya? All right. So we have another tier 3 game. Are we going to be ending the stream or are we just passing it right over to somebody? Okay. Alrighty, so it looks like Solaire is going to be casting the next match. And who are we going to be seeing in that match?
Mm.
Skull and Air 409 going to be playing in that next match. Another tier 3 match as well. So, stick around for that. That's going to be coming back on in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes? 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people. So that's going to do it from me. I'm Shadowfang. That's Arya over there. And my co-caster tonight's been Weeping Angel. Been a great time with the both of
Yeah,
y'all
lovely night
tonight.
with you.
And that's going to do it for this first match of Annihilation Overwatch. But stick around because Solaire is going to be back here shortly with that match to follow up. All right. Good night, everybody.